Did you always want to be a pilot?
I didn't have that kind of feeling about it beforehand. No, I was 17, 18, 19 years old. You don't think that, like, well, I'm going to be a pilot. I want to go and get through my classes or go to my next grade, go graduate from college and the rest. My father was a pilot in World War I. Same thing happened to him. He was kept as an instructor and got to France too late to fight. So we both of us had a kind of mirror image thing, the two wars.
So he survived the war as well?
Yes.
Okay. That's interesting.
Would you have preferred to fight instead of being a trainer or an
Did I
instructor?
say that again?
Would you have preferred to fight instead of staying as an instructor?
At that time, I certainly did want to fight. I was very well trained to do that. I felt that I could do it well, whether I could or not. I felt that I could. And so I really did my best to get to the war in Europe. In fact, I finished my gunnery program in Millville, New Jersey 3 weeks early, thinking in mid-March that they would send me to Europe. But they gave me 3 weeks leave instead. So I was very anxious to get into combat at that time. Now, I may have changed my mind after I tasted it, who knows?
So you never actually experienced like killing anyone or killing the enemy or anything like that?
No.
Okay.
What was your plane like? Was it a fighter plane?
What about it?
Was your plane like a fighter plane? Like trained to, did you drop bombs?
Did I drop bombs?
Or train people how to
But a
drop
fighter
bombs?
plane, the P-47 fighter plane had 8 machine guns. And it could carry bombs as well. And in fact, toward the end of the war, it carried some rockets under the wings. So in my training at Millville, New Jersey, I was taught to be a dive bomber and to fire those rockets and to shoot those machine guns at targets. And we also had aerial target that you try to shoot. It was a kind of nylon sleeve, great big sleeve that an airplane pulled, and your bullets had a stain on them. So when the thing came down, you could see how many of your hits you had. And so, usually a group of 4 people would do that once. So you'd have bullets with 4 different colors, and you'd get a score from your results.
How did you?
So we did all that kind of training.
Oh, okay.
I did very poorly because they wouldn't let me get close enough to the target.
So how did you do in these sort of like events? Did you hit the target most of the time, or?
Well, I don't think so, not near a gun range. I think I could shot an airplane down easier than I could have hit that sleeve.
Okay.
Do you know of any incidents where maybe your friends had missed the target? What would have happened to them?
If they what?
If they had missed the target?
Oh no, there was no, it wasn't like pass or fail, no. It was to get us familiar with what we call deflection shooting. See, the plane's up here and you do this. So you're in a turn and you have to lead the whatever you're shooting at, going that fast. So to give us some experience with that sort of thing. That's what the aerial gunnery was for.
Okay. So did you and your wife meet in the
service?
In the service?
No, we knew each other from childhood.
Oh, really? Okay. So, when did you guys get married after the war, or?
We got married after the war.
Okay.
We never seriously went with each other until after the war.
Oh, okay. Okay.
How did you keep in touch during the war?
With her?
Yeah.
I didn't. No, we had lots of friends, of course. But the truth is, I don't think I wrote anybody during the war except my immediate family and my other friends in the service.
What was it like being away from your family?
I was used to that. I'd been to prep school in Virginia and off to college. So I kind of liked the independence, yes. And we were well paid as a pilot in those days. You got basic pay and 50% extra for flying.
Oh.
So it didn't sound like very much money now to get $175 a month, but when a common soldier got 30, that was a good bit of extra pocket change. Since the service gave you everything but your uniforms, food and clothing and shelter. Not the clothing, no.
What were things like the food or shelter? What was that like? Was it good food? Was it
the food? You mean?
Mm-hmm.
In general, the food was excellent. I don't remember any place where the food was bad. No.
Did you eat in a mess hall?
Eat in what?
A mess hall, or
with like most of the soldiers?
Mess halls,
or
yes.
yeah, mess hall.
See, in the aviation cadets, we ate separately in our own places. When you got into the when officers, we ate at the officers' clubs where they existed. And some of them were very nice. The ones in Richmond and Andrewsfield were quite nice. Incidentally, the ones that we had in Millville, New Jersey, our waiters were German prisoners of war who waited tables for us there.
Wow.
When you got to Oahu, the first base I was assigned to was rather primitive. And the food was just plain common mess hall food. But when we moved to another airfield, we had a very nice country club, officers club rather, to utilize. The food was fine.
What were these prisoners of war like? The German waiters that you encountered?
They were very attentive and very thorough in what they did. We were so busy flying, I paid no attention to it. I've thought about that in over later years. Why didn't I strike up a conversation with one or two of them? But I did, and I don't know anyone who did. That's the only place that we had anything like that. Other places domestics had, or other soldiers. Did the cooking, and you'd had cafeteria lines.
Were there many?
Were there many what?
Captives of war, the German soldiers that were...
Well, I don't know. I mean, there must have been 50 or 100 there at Millville.
Oh, okay.
Because it was a pretty good base. The people that were permanent party there that stayed there regularly assigned to that base, and then pilots coming through for training.
Okay. Is there anything else about the war that you would like future generations to know?
I didn't have a very interesting war for anybody else. It was interesting to me, and I loved flying. I loved doing that, and that's my story.
All right.
Thank you very much.
No more questions.